Go pull your lead generation invoice from last month, the real one, the whole number at the bottom. Have it open because we are going to work out together what you paid for the calls that nobody at your firm picked up. I am not going to guess at that number for you, and I am not going to hand you a scary statistic and let it sit there. We are going to build it, one line at a time. Out of figures, you can go check yourself the minute this video ends. 2 rules before we start. First, every number I put on this screen has a name and a year attached to it, and you will see the source sitting right underneath the figure. Second, if I cannot source something, I will not say it. That second rule cost me most of this video's original outline, and I will show you exactly what I had to throw out, because that part is more useful to you than anything else I'm about to say. When I started building this, I had a tidy set of figures. They are the same ones you have been shown by every vendor who has ever emailed your firm. I went to check them the way I would want somebody to check a number before they put it in front of me. 5 of them fell apart. The first one, $284, cost per lead for a personal injury case. You have seen it. It comes from one marketing agency's report, and the sample is 13 law firms, all of them that agency's own paying clients. 13. And the report contradicts itself because at the lead-to-case rate published in the same document, $284 a lead works out to more than $4,000 per signed case, not the $468 it claims 2 pages later. Both numbers cannot be true. Neither one is going in this video. Second, $55,056, the average personal injury settlement across 5,861 cases. It reads like real research. It is a blog post on one law firm's own website. No methodology, no statement of whether that is a mean or a median, no indication whether those are that firm's own files. And the companion car accident figure, 37,248, is a completely different sample from the same firm, presented alongside it as though the two belong together. Third, and this is the one I would have bet on, 42% of legal inquiries arrive outside business hours. No study, no sample. It sits in an intake vendor's blog with no link under it. As far as I can tell, it started life as a genuine Clio finding, which was that 42% of inquiries went unanswered for 3 days or longer. And somewhere along the way, somebody turned 3 days into after hours, and everyone copied it. Here is the pattern, and once you see it, you cannot stop seeing it. Every one of those numbers had a hyperlink under it. That is what makes them so effective. You click the link, and you land on another blog, which links to a third blog, which links back to the first. 2 or 3 hops, and it closes into a loop that never touches an actual survey. A number being linked is not the same as a number being sourced. That is worth more to you than any statistic I could give you, because you are going to be pitched this service by 6 different companies this year, and every one of them will arrive holding a page of numbers. So here is what survived. 4 numbers. Everyone has a named publisher, a year, a stated sample size, and a method you can read. That is the whole basis of what follows. The first one. Across 13,474 American search campaigns, legal is the single most expensive industry in paid search. Not one of the expensive ones. The most expensive one. $9.87 a click and $131.63 for a lead. I want to be straight about the edge of this number. That is legal as a whole, not personal injury specifically. There is no credible published personal injury breakout. Anybody handing you one has made it up. If you are running motor vehicle accident keywords, you already know your real number is above the category average, not below it, and you have your own invoice open, so use yours. Second, when people go looking for a lawyer, roughly 2/3 of them reach out by phone. That is Clio's consumer survey, 2,000 Americans. It was a question where people could pick more than one answer. So I am not going to give you a clean split. And anyone who quotes you a tidy 68 versus 25 is quoting a multiple choice question as though it were a pie chart. The honest version is enough for what we are doing. Most of what you buy comes to you as a ringing telephone. Third, and this is the number the whole video runs on. In the summer of 2024, Clio hired a research agency to secret shop 500 American law firms. Not a survey where firms rate themselves. Actual strangers calling actual firms and writing down what happened. 40% answered the phone. In 2019, the same test got 56%, so it is not holding steady, it is falling. And 48% of those firms could not be reached by phone or by email at all. Fourth, Hennessy Digital submitted inquiries through the contact forms of 1,333 American law firms in early 2025. Median response time, 13 minutes, which is genuinely good, but 26% never responded at all. I want to be precise here, because these two studies get blended together constantly, and they are not measuring the same thing. Hennessy measured web forms. Clio measured phone calls. Keep them apart and both stay useful. Mix them and you get a number that is not true of either. All right, invoice open. We are going to run 100 leads through your firm because 100 is easy to scale up or down once you see the shape of it. Use my numbers if you do not have yours in front of you. Use yours if you do, and yours will be better. 100 leads at $131.63 each is $13,163. That is money that has already left your account. It is spent. Nothing that happens from here on gets any of it back. Roughly 2/3 of those 100 people are going to pick up a phone rather than fill in a form. Call it 67 phone calls. That is 67 times your line rings with somebody on the other end who has already cost you money. Now put the Clio rate on it. 40% answered. 27 of those 67 calls reach a human being at your firm. 40 of them do not. I want you to sit with that shape for a second, because it is not a rounding error at the edge of your marketing. It is the majority of the phone calls you paid for. 40 unanswered calls at $131.63 each is $5,265 out of a $13,000 invoice. That is 40% of your lead generation budget spent on a telephone that rang out. And notice what has not happened yet. Nobody has lost a case. Nobody has been turned down. This is purely the cost of the ringing before we get anywhere near what those people were worth. Here is where every other video you have watched on this subject reaches for an average settlement figure, multiplies it out, and hands you a terrifying number with a dollar sign on it. I am not going to do that, because as I showed you at the start, the average settlement figures in circulation are somebody's blog post. So this next part is a blank, and you are the only person who can fill it in. You need two figures, and you already have both. First, out of the calls that do reach your intake, what share turn into signed cases? Your case management system knows this. Second, what your firm actually earns on an average signed file. Not the settlement, your fee, after costs and after any referral split. You know that number, and I do not. And I would be inventing it if I put one on the screen. Let me work it once with placeholder numbers, and please treat them as placeholders. Say 1 in 20 of the calls that reach you turns into a signed file. 40 unanswered calls at 1 in 20 is 2 cases, 2. Now put your own average fee against those 2, whatever it genuinely is at your firm, and compare it to the $13,000 invoice we started with. For most plaintiff side firms I have seen, one of those 2 files is worth more than the entire month of advertising that produced it. Run it with your real numbers tonight. It takes about 10 minutes, and you will not need me for it. Now I want to show you the thing underneath, because the 40 unanswered calls are the symptom, not the disease. There are 168 hours in a week. A full-time person at your front desk covers 40 of them. That leaves 128 hours a week where your published number, the one on your signage, and your bar directory listing, and every piece of paper your firm has ever filed rings into nothing. Nobody planned that. It is just arithmetic that nobody ever wrote down. And this is why the usual fix does not work. Hire a second person and you cover 50 of the 168. Hire a third and the calls all arrive during the same 90 minutes on a Monday morning anyway, because that is how legal inquiries behave. You are not short a person. The shape of the demand does not match the shape of a shift, and you cannot staff your way out of a shape. And there is a second half to that Clio study I have not used yet. 48% of those 500 firms could not be reached by phone or by email. Not slow, unreachable. Which means that when your caller does not get you, roughly half the time the next firm they try does not answer either. That is not comfort. It is the actual market you are competing in. And it means the firm that answers is not winning on skill. It is winning on being there. So here is what I would actually do this week if this were my firm. None of this costs anything, and none of it involves me. First, at 6:10 this evening, call your own main number from your cell phone, not the direct line to your desk, the number on your website. Let it run all the way through and write down exactly what happens, how many rings, what the recording says, whether the mailbox is full. Then do it again at 8 in the morning and again at 1 on a Saturday. Most owners have genuinely never done this, and the 3 minutes it takes is the highest return 3 minutes available to you this month. Second, your phone system has a log. Ask whoever manages it for last month's inbound calls, with the ones that went unanswered flagged separately. If it is a cloud system, you can usually export it yourself in about a minute. You are looking for one thing only: how many inbound calls last month did not reach a person. Third, put that unanswered call count next to your lead generation invoice for the same month. Divide the invoice by the number of leads to get your real cost per lead, and multiply it by the unanswered calls. That is your version of the $5,265, and it is a real number instead of my estimate. Fourth, and I mean this, before you look at any system, any software, any service, including mine, fix the free half. An after-hours greeting that gives a real path instead of an apology. A mailbox that is not full. A call forwarding rule for the lunch hour. A named person who owns the return call rather than everyone assuming somebody else has it. In most firms, that alone moves the number, and if it moves it enough, you are done, and you did not spend anything. Then run the same 3-minute test again in 30 days. If the answer rate is where you want it, you have your evening back and you can stop thinking about this. If it is not, then at least you are looking at a real number about your own firm rather than somebody's blog post, and you can make an actual decision. I will tell you what I do once, and then I am done. I build phone intake systems for firms where one recovered client is worth thousands of dollars. If you want to hear one working rather than read about it, the number is on the screen. Call it. You will get the system I build, not a salesperson, and you can hang up on it, which is genuinely the best way to judge one of these. If it is not for you, that is a perfectly good answer, and you still walk away from this video with a test you can run tonight for nothing. Next time, I am going to open up the whole bill on this, every line of what a system like this actually costs to run and where the money goes, because nobody in this category will put that on camera. If that is useful, subscribe and it will find you. Go call your own line.